Good morning, traders. This is Shane Scott, the moderator of Newsware's Trade Talk. At Trade Talk, we're providing you with the up-to-the-minute news on the market, along with the facts, themes, and short-term trading ideas for the day ahead. Joining me today is our trading anchor, Bill Olson, who brings over 30 years of institutional trading knowledge to our program. Let's go ahead and get things started with our markets update. U.S. futures are moving higher this morning with S&P futures up 0.29%, Dow futures up 0.22%, and NASDAQ futures up 0.24%. Along with rise in equities this morning, treasuries have risen and the dollar has advanced. Oil prices leaped after the OPEC alliance surprised traders with a decision to keep output numbers unchanged. West Texas crude rose above $65 a barrel for the first time since January of last year. Bond yields have climbed in recent weeks with the expectation of stronger economic growth and price pressure. February's employment report due out today will give a needed update on the speed and direction of the country's labor market recovery. In regards to Fed Chair Jerome Powell's words yesterday, he left the bond market disappointed. The results was that treasuries were whipsawed yesterday on disappointment that Powell offered no specific course of action to rein in long-term interest rates. Also worthy to note is that the U.S. Senate approved the $1.9 trillion relief bill packed by President Joe Biden, with approval expected on the weekend. Over in Europe, the Stoxx 600 index paired a decline as shares of energy companies rallied. Bill, what are you seeing as far as market updates?
Hi, Shane. I've been watching the S&Ps all morning long, and the futures reverse course a little earlier. They were down all morning, and then they popped and they turned higher, which I was very excited about seeing green on my screen. But they've just reversed course, and now they're trending lower after that non-farms payroll report just came out. The U.S. added 379,000 jobs in February versus an estimated 210,000 jobs, which was expected. This non-farms payroll is a key catalyst, for the market today. And, our traders are going to be keeping an eye on these treasury yields because of this recent spike. The recent spike is okay. It just means that the economy is recovering. You can't expect to have 0% interest rates for life. Non-dividend paying stocks remain at risk due to the higher yields, but your bigger companies, your industrial companies that do pay a dividend, they're going to be safe because their yields are typically over 3%. You got to watch oil. Oil prices are up over 2% this morning, and you're seeing the gains in the oil stocks. I even noticed a note this morning that said Goldman just hiked its price target to $80 a barrel. So there's a lot of good stuff happening out there today, a lot of volatility.
Moving into our earnings to watch today, Bill, what type of earnings are we seeing?
Let's talk about Broadcom, ticker AVGO, Apple Victor Grace Oscar. They delivered a 6-cent beat on higher revenue. You look at the stock this morning, and it is trading slightly higher, not significant, but up 0.09%. Costco, that's ticker COST. These guys missed by 30 cents on higher revenue. Costco is now down 1.74. It's recovered a lot because it was down significantly after that earnings announcement. Gap Stores, that's ticker GPS. They really shocked everyone. They delivered a 46-cent beat. Meanwhile, it was on lower revenue, but you're seeing the stock up 3.86% this morning. And Big Lots, that's ticker BIG, they delivered a 9-cent beat this morning on higher revenue with positive guidance. And this is why you're seeing gains in the stock price today. They've since started to sell off a little bit, but keep an eye on Big, ticker BIG. There could be some real trading opportunities there.
How about insights as far as upcoming earning announcements?
Well, let's talk about next week. Casey Stores, that's ticker CASY. They're posed for a 5.6% move. Stitch Fix, that's ticker SFIX. Sam, Frank, India, X-Ray. They're priced for a 7.9% move. And Dick's Sporting Goods, that's ticker DKS. David, Kilo, Sam. They're priced for a 3.5% move when they release earnings next week. I'm watching Casey's. These guys own and operate roughly 2,200 stores across 16 states. It's always outperformed the S&P 500 for years. I mean, it's been able to deliver double-digit earnings and revenue growth, and it's constantly expanding its footprint by buying out smaller rivals. The pandemic, however, brought that to an end, and Casey's growth, was likely going to reaccelerate as customers start to return to their stores from the lockdown. So I could see, some good guidance coming out of this company. They perform well in a very difficult sector, and this lower stock price on Casey's is very interesting to me. Stitch Fix, on the other hand, that's ticker SFIX, Sam Frank India X-ray. Last quarter, the personal styling services company reported, a really blowout quarter that exceeded everyone's expectations, and they guided higher for the full year of revenue growth between 20 and 25%. I was shocked when that happened, and I'm shocked now. Their model just seems temporary to me, and I don't know if they'll be able to hold those gains. But their earnings are coming out next week, and I'll be watching the option activity. I'll be looking for what the broker's price targets come in and out at, and seeing if there's any opportunity for a trade in Stitch Fix next week.
Well, let's talk about economic reports. Bill, what type of reports are we expecting today?
We just saw the non-farm payrolls report. Also, there's a report out on international trade and goods and services. But at 1 o'clock, you get the Baker Hughes rig count. This could be very interesting. Last week, it was down because of the previous slowdown due to the weather in Texas. So I'm expecting to see a turnaround there in the rig count and for it to start heading higher, especially because oil prices are running hot. The shale guys could really start making money here, and these oil wells should start to be increasing. At 3 o'clock today, we have Atlanta's Fed Bank President Raphael Bostic speaking. This could be like one of the most important speeches for this guy this year. It's really the last chance for the Fed to issue any type of communication prior to the blackout period ahead, which is normal ahead of an FOMC meeting. I believe the FOMC meeting is on Tuesday around mid-March. So watch for that speech that he's going to be giving at 3 p.m. towards the end of the day. It could provide some type of catalyst for the market.
Well, moving into our morning's critical insights, starting things off with one on Wipro, ticker WIT. Company is set to acquire Capco for $1.45 billion. Wipro share price is down 0.78% in pre-market. Another one on Chevron, ticker CVX. Company has signed to buy all remaining 33.925 million shares in Noble Midstream Partners, ticker NBLX, that it does not already own. Chevron share price is up 2% in pre-market. In other news, Aqua Metals, ticker AQMS, has gained in pre-open, climbing up plus 15% after it was initiated with a buy rating and at a price target of $8 at HC Wainwright. One on Virgin Galactic, ticker SPCE. The chairman, Chamath, he sold his stake in the company to raise $212 million. Virgin Galactic share price is down 4.65%, actually down to 7% lower in pre-market. In other news, Cipher Mining, which is a U.S.-based Bitcoin mining operation, is set to go public through a merger with GoodWorks Acquisition. That's ticker GWAC, which will lead to a merged value of $2 billion. The company will be named after Cipher Mining and will trade under the ticker symbol CIFR. GoodWorks share price is up about 8% in pre-market. Last one for me, Shutterfly, another merger, is in talks to go public through a merger with Altamar Acquisition Corp. That's ticker ATMR, that would be valued between $4 and $5 billion. Altamar share price is up 0.08% in pre-market. Bill, what are you seeing as far as this morning's news?
Well, Shane, I'm always looking at my news alerts for sector-based events, sector-based news and event-based news, looking for those hot stories that I can take advantage of, either today or in the near future. I look at my FANG alert and I see that Google's, here's one on Google. The CEO of YouTube said that she's not going to reinstate Trump's access until the threat of violence has decreased. So it's kind of an interesting comment on his ability to gain followers on social media, which has always been a key for his success. Amazon, that's ticker AMZN. Amazon is picking London for its first checkout-free physical store outside of the U.S. And news story out on Apple. Apple is set to face antitrust charges in the European Union over competition complaint made by Spotify about App Store's rules, according to a couple of reports that I read this morning. My Dow Jones 30 alert: Johnson & Johnson. Apparently, the House Oversight and Reform Committee is starting to question the drug wholesalers, such as Johnson & Johnson, about their use of opioid settlement money and tax deductions. They may have been using money that they're supposed to be paying out and then claiming tax deductions on it, which really is not what the whole idea of the penalties were supposed to be for. I did catch at CVX News acquiring Noble Midstream Partners in an all-stock transaction. It's important to note that Chevron already had a major position in the stock. This is just concluding it where they're going to be taking over the entire entity. And Salesforce, that's ticker CRM. Salesforce.com's, their 30-day implied volatility is at 35. Now, you compare that to the 52-week range of 29 to 97, and you can see that this stock is really trading on the low end. Yeah, they did buy out Slack. Yeah, the market is pulling back a little bit, but there's some real opportunity here. This is a very interesting play. My dividend alert went off on Campbell Soup. That's ticker CBP, Charlie, Paul, Boy. They declared a dividend of 37 cents a share. Ticker AMT, Apple, Michael, Tom. They declared a dividend of $1.24. And Broadcom, ticker AVGO, they declared a quarterly dividend of $3.60 per share. My buyback alert: NXPI, Nancy, X-Ray, Paul, India. Board approved a $2 billion stock buyback plan. In terms of guidance, I see Broadcom, that's ticker AVGO. For the current quarter, the company is projecting sales slightly higher than the 6.33 billion. They're expecting them to come in at 6.5 billion. So that's a positive for Broadcom, ticker AVGO.
Moving into our Trade Talk picks for today, I'm going to go ahead and pick GoodWorks Acquisition. So ticker GWAC. This is the company that's doing the merger with Cipher Mining. It's a pretty big price tag that they're coming in at with their merged value of $2 billion. Plus, Bitcoin's been hot lately. And so this is one that, I could see making some momentum, and it already has, being up 8%. However, I would like to get into this one lower. I think it'd be a little bit steep to buy in at the open. So I'm looking for it to get under $10.50, at least at that mark, for me to feel comfortable buying in. So let's watch it at the open and let's see. But if it does get that drop, I think it's a good buy-in. What's your pick looking like, Bill?
There's a lot of interesting opportunities out there as I see this morning, but one that really caught my eye was McDonald's. It's trading at a 6-month low. I'm noticing the bid ask is 204.25 to 205.30. I'm looking to get into this for both a short-term and a long-term position today, and I'm looking to get in at the 204.50 to 205 range. I think that this thing, you can see a $10 move in here, very easily, very quickly. Today I wouldn't expect a $10 move, but over the next, 2 months, I could definitely see this trading into, high teens, low 20s. There's talk of congressional representatives, they're saying, look, in Denmark, McDonald's pays a minimum wage of $22 an hour. That's all noise, because Denmark's minimum wage is $10 higher than what it is here in the U.S. If you do these these wage hikes that Congress is asking for, you're going to raise the price of burgers. You raise the price of burgers, their sales decline. So it's not a good strategy. Congress has to stay out of this portion of it. The fact of the matter is, I'm looking at McDonald's, and I could see a nice percentage move in the stock today. That's ticker MCD, and that's my stock pick of the day.
Well, moving into what's hot off the press, this is the news that's hitting the tape as we speak that will be moving the stocks today. Let's go ahead and get right into it. So, Bill, looking at our Newsware alerts and seeing all the headlines that are streaming in, which are the ones we should be letting traders know about?
SEAS, that's SeaWorld. All SeaWorld parks are now open and operating with enhanced safety measures for the 2021 season. I thought that was a real interesting one that just hit the tape. Rocket Companies, that's ticker RKT. Bank of America is expecting to see pressure on RKT today after the CEO of United Wholesale Mortgage, that's ticker UWM, issued an ultimatum to mortgage brokers. The chief executive of United Wholesale Mortgage told the mortgage brokers yesterday that they must choose between his company and Quicken Loans, which is the largest component of Dan Gilbert's Rocket Companies, RKT. So watch for some selling pressure in RKT today.
One on Volkswagen. So that one's not really in the U.S. market per se. However, it said Friday that it plans to rapidly accelerate the growth of its global e-campaign. So, looking towards electric vehicle ambitions, just could be something interesting because this could be spurring the EV market even more.
I see that Russell is to add 39 IPOs to its indexes on March 19th.
One from Allied Esports, that's ticker AESE. They have received unsolicited proposals from Bally's, ticker BALY. Basically, they've received this proposal to acquire all the outstanding equity interests of the company of Allied Esports for a total consideration of $100 million payable.
PriceSmart, that's ticker PSMT, Paul, Sam, Michael, Tom. They announced February net merchandise sales up 1.3% to 258.7 million. Here's an interesting one, SIFY, Sam, India, Frank, Yellow. They're reportedly in talks with Blackstone over a potential minority stake deal. Morgan Stanley gave Microsoft the price target to 290 from 285, maintain an overweight rating. I see Boeing, ticker BA, is seeking a new $4 billion credit facility from the banks.
Shares of Intest, ticker INTT, are rising more than 4% in the pre-market after their better than expected fourth quarter came out today. Anything else interesting for you, Bill?
No, that's all I'm seeing today, Shane.
Same here. So that'll do it as far as what's hot off the press. But traders, keep in mind, you can receive these same breaking stories just like us simply by subscribing at newsware.com. Check us out for a free trial today. It will definitely up your trading game. Moving into our scoreboard, talking about how our picks did from Thursday. I had CureVac, ticker CVAC, which opened at $87.01. Closed at $81.33, but in pre-market is back up to $83.20 and moving higher. So you're looking at what was a 4.37% loss. So it didn't pop the way we wanted to, but glad that it's coming back up this morning. What's your pick look? How'd your pick do from yesterday, Bill?
Well, I did Salesforce.com. It's ticker Charlie Richard Mary, CRM. Stock opened up at 206.84. Had a little price fluctuation, just moved to 209.09. Beating both benchmarks of what we're looking for, either 1% move or a $1 move. It was a good trade. I mean, the stock experienced real weakness after Powell's speech, as the entire market did. But that relatively low implied volatility on the 50 period is very exciting to me. And their Slack ownership is exciting to me. The ownership is exciting to me. It's a very interesting play. Later in the day, I had to take on a position again, and I put that in my longer term account because I just think that this thing is entirely undervalued.
Nice. Well, that's going to do it for us here at Trade Talk. But traders, you know what to do. Let's get out there. Let's make some green.